They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. So I think they said if alcohol-induced dementia, I want the family to become the guardian and care her and take care of her 100%. As long as she has people around who are yes people, the same thing is always going to occur where she would ultimately just find any excuse to be by herself so she can get back to drinking.
It appears that Wendy Williams' health issues have gotten worse because her son Kevin Jr. is now crying over losing all of his wealth because his mother is permanently disabled. According to the most recent reports, Wendy is unable to move, communicate, or even. They claim that she is only a shadow of her former self now that she is suffering from dementia. And the reason they are disclosing all of this information at this time is due to the Unpleasant Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams?, which aired in early 2024. Since her show got canceled, people have been snooping around for information on her situation. But let me tell you something. A lot of you think the documentary should never have been released.
The issues that are being presented in this documentary have been there before, but it just really sped up over the last 2 years or so and just mushroomed into something that felt uncontrollable. She definitely cognitively has some things that are
Oscars? Oscars? Yeah. This weekend? What's Oscars? Well, the award show. Would you want to go to an award show and walk the red carpet? Yeah. Oh, you would? Okay.
Although it's difficult to watch Wendy Williams struggle to live her life and do some of the simple things she enjoys so easily, it does demonstrate that her health is actually deteriorating. Wendy Williams has truly become the Wendy Williams Show. The documentary also revealed that Wendy has no one watching out for her best interests. Her manager was still talking about how she was doing well and was prepared to start her own podcast, but when she is obviously having difficulties, these people should stop treating Wendy like a pile of. I really want to think that Kevin Hunter Jr. misses his mother because, as you know, Wendy loves her son unconditionally, and without her, all he has left is an aggressive, abusive, broke father who doesn't even know how to take care of anyone but himself or be the active parent that Kevin needs him to be. However, some people don't really believe Kevin Jr. because Wendy has been providing for him throughout his life, even though he is technically an adult. Wendy received payment. She will never give a story like that for just $85,000. What do you mean? Is that Wendy allowed these guys to film her, get all these details, and make millions off her name for just 85 grand? Come on, let's be honest. And then there's this whole thing with her legal guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and everyone was dragging Sabrina for controlling Wendy. Amlay $85,000 for her documentary, and Lifetime can keep yapping on and on about Wendy giving them consent. This lawful. Even though the documentary's executive producer, Wendy, was credited by Lifetime, The Guardian recently filed a lawsuit essentially stating the same thing. The project exploited Wendy because she was diagnosed with early onset dementia and aphasia and lacked the mental capacity to consent to being filmed. Lifetime was aware of this, and everyone in her immediate vicinity knew what was going on. If you want to play devil's advocate and claim they were unaware or weren't informed, all you have to do is watch the documentary for a few minutes to see how vulnerable Wendy is. Everyone, including Wendy's publicist, manager, and even her own son, sat down to watch the documentary, and many thought they had a hand in ruthlessly making money off of her one last time. After Wendy was diagnosed, Sabrina thought the project would be abandoned right away because Wendy hadn't signed a contract and wasn't in the right frame of mind to focus on her career or start a podcast.
Last night, I just feel like some things are better left unsaid or unshown, and I don't know if it's to expose what's happening around her, the people around her, and what they're doing to her. If it's for that, I guess I can understand. But I have to be honest, it made me so uncomfortable. I have to turn it off. Like I can't finish watching it. I know part 2 comes out today, but I just feel like there is no reason that we needed to see her in this condition. like with her eyes, her health, the alcohol. Every single person that is currently in her life does not have her best interests at heart. And this is so sad to say, but it's like when you're on top of the world, the last thing you think is that you need to get your affairs in order. That's the last thing you think, because you don't think the people around you are plotting against you.
Wendy herself signed the rights over in 2022 to this Lifetime documentary. That same year, Wells Fargo took over saying she was an incapacitated person. You tell me, how could she sign a legal document allowing cameras in your house the same year you're considered an incapacitated person? You have to be compos mentis to sign a legal document like that. Guardians are already suing. This is horrendous.
From the outside, based on court reports, she appears to be doing a decent job of trying to protect Wendy's interests with this lawsuit. But again, we don't really know what a person's true motivations are, so only time will tell. Wendy's family isn't convinced though, and they believe that she should be in court. When this whole legal guardianship thing started, people thought it was going to turn out like the toxic conservatorship that they had Britney Spears under. We don't know a lot about the legal guardianship, so we won't jump the gun and praise her. But even though Wendy loves her son and wants him to have the best life possible, he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy who knows how to manage assets or uphold the legacy that his mother has built. Kevin Jr. has been defending himself against all of the accusations that he has been blowing through his mother's wealth, claiming that everything he has spent was done so with her permission and that she has never been a cheap person. Therefore, there is still a risk that her family will blow off everything she has left her son, live a lavish lifestyle on his mother's dime.
And then with the August, I've always exposed her, and she's always wanted me to spend her money.
I've got so much money. I want it for my son. I want to give some love to my son, Kevin. It's me and you, kid.
And we understand that, but occasionally you need to use discretion and common sense. Just because your mother is wealthy and tells you to go out and enjoy yourself doesn't mean you should, especially now that she is unable to work. Live as though the money will never run out. People aren't really happy with the situation, and Kevin isn't prepared to manage all of this just yet. His broke, parasitic father won't be much help either. According to Wendy's current comment, no one deserves this diagnosis, and it is essentially Wendy's demise because the illnesses are on par with Alzheimer's memory. The present is a state of complete bewilderment, and the future presents a depressing quote at the end of Way to Die, and another quote, "It's quite unfortunate to learn that Wendy Williams, who has always had a huge personality, is dealing with such difficulties." Final quotation, as well as a quote, "Do you think her legal guardian was right to file that lawsuit and that her son should have full access to her wealth?" Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I really didn't enjoy that Wendy Williams documentary. It was extremely exploitative and depressing. It seemed like she was still Wendy, but was just a reflection of the vessel she once was. I hope and pray she recovers. Goodbye, babes.